And we back. Y'all, today we got to talk about 2K Next Gen. A lot of stuff has happened over the past week or so related to 2K and Next Gen, and we want to talk about it, but specifically talking about like the My League related stuff, because sure, they've dropped a lot of news about the park and all of that, but how does that really relate to me and you? It really doesn't. The first thing that they really did that kind of related to us is a couple days ago, they started to release ratings for the players here on NBA 2K21 Next Gen. And I'm kind of intrigued. At the end of the day, this is what I'm going to say. The ratings right now do not matter because, as you know, every year they're dynamic. So we may see one player have a high overall now. We go into next season and he starts to suck. His overall is going to drop. So the overalls going into the game do not matter whatsoever. But I wanted to react to them and, give y'all my opinions on what we got now. Be sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new. We are on the road to 1 million, and I can't hit 1 million if you don't subscribe. So let's get into it. So it started off here, October 21st. They just tell you straight up, tomorrow we are revealing some ratings, and they hit for next gen and current gen November 10th. And it really got me thinking, like, oh, okay. I mean, okay, we're getting roster updates on both sides, which is good because I know everybody won't be able to get a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, whatever it's called, off rip. So it's good that they're really taking the time to update the current gen. I still don't have my next gen console yet. I don't know. I'm gonna have to pay resale. I'm gonna have to drop a lot of money to get mad. Anyway, and my response to it was My League news, because these two things are connected in a way, right? The ratings are impacted to My League. I said My League news, and well, here we are 3 days later, still no My League news. But I do have some things that we're going to talk about a little bit later. But let's look at some of the ratings that were associated with these players. The first one, the King. I mean, Finals MVP this year, just won another championship, 98 overall. And my opinion on the way these players look from these little screenshots are up in the air. Does that look like LeBron? Of course. Does it look significantly better than current gen? Not really, not significantly. No, this supposed to be a whole new engine. We supposed to have like life. I mean, yes, it does look good, but it doesn't like we took a significant step like they were talking about. Overall, sure, it sounds right. LeBron, 98 overall. How can I complain? The one that people got really upset about was the next one, and that was Jimmy Butler hitting the 93 overall. Obviously helped his team get to the finals, was leading them in the finals, 2 real big games. 93 overall is a lot different than what we're used to seeing from Jimmy Butler. But at the end of the day, like I mentioned, it does not matter. If you think Jimmy Butler is a fraud, that's cool, because if we get a month into the season and he ain't playing like a 93, he may be right back to a 90. Jamal Murray hits a 87 overall. Shout out to him for his great play in the bubble. That's a W to me. But then things start to get real interesting, right? They hit Giannis, 97. Okay. But that's like normal. These are the current gen right now. He's a 97. Why do we have to announce that this man was the same overall? People took it and they ran with it. This thing got 9,000 likes, 1,000 retweets, 600 comments. People were very interested just to see that they didn't change anything about Giannis's overall. Luka, 94. Good rating. But again, he's a 94 in the game. All of the other ones, except for Jamal Murray, except for Jimmy Butler, and LeBron jumped up 1 overall. Every other thing that they have released or announced were the exact same thing about the current gen. They got all of y'all to talk about the ratings, including me. I'm making a video right now. And they didn't even really change anything. Utah Jazz, 88, Donovan Mitchell, 87, Rudy Gobert. I mean, Donovan Mitchell had to get an overall boost. He played phenomenal in the bubble, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Those are the exact same thing. And I can go on and on. Pretty much everything they released, other than the few that I mentioned earlier, were the exact same thing. The graphically, this just don't really look like Trae Young that much. You can see that it is Trae Young, but it don't look like Trae Young. But he's an 88 overall. People were really upset. He's an 88. That's the same rating as this player and this player. Y'all, literally, look. He was an 88 in the current gen. You have this game. You know his rating here. Why are you in an uproar about something? If anything, we should be in an uproar of like, hey, y'all releasing these ratings and you didn't do anything to change it. I'm sure you understand now, but same thing. Steph Curry and Klay, same overalls in the game. Kyrie, KD, same overalls in current gen. James Harden, same overall in current gen. They just duped everybody. And it's kind of a brilliant tactic by their marketing team. They got everybody talking about ratings and they didn't even change anything. It's literally the same from the game that they dropped a month ago. And we all know, if you watched the video I dropped when the game originally dropped, the current gen, that these ratings don't mean anything. They have hidden little attributes to make sure that you have Kyrie at a 90, even if he's not supposed to be a 90. I'm just using that for example. Or having James Harden at a 96, even if he's not supposed to be a 96. This overall value means nothing. It's just something to get you to talking about him. Anyway, there's some more things that's going on in the 2K community that I haven't even brought to y'all attention. A few weeks ago, I was playing Among Us with a bunch of other big-time YouTubers and big-time streamers that you know in this 2K community, and we had a blast, but we had a special guest, and that was Ronnie 2K. And you know what? You know, you're not going to see me in the same scenario, in the same vicinity as Ronnie 2K and not expect me to ask questions about my league for us.
Nah, that was hella fun, bro.
That was really fun.
That is till November 10th, because I'm telling you, that's all you're gonna
Oh. Hey, wait. How about
Spill the beans.
Ronnie?
I have a question. Yeah, just say something.
You saying that about all of us, even the My League guys? We gonna be chilling?
What?
The My League guys too? We gonna have fun this year?
You'll have to see.
You have to wait and see. You told everybody else to have fun, but I gotta wait and see. All right. That's twitch.tv/KOT4Q if you want to tune into any of the streams. But you saw what he said. It ain't looking amazing. And another little thing on top of that makes me think that it's not looking amazing is we still don't have news. We have Park news. We have my team news because they completely revamped my team. We have my career news. We've got news for pretty much everything, and we're a couple weeks away from the game, and we still haven't seen anything from 2K about my league/my GM. Now that doesn't mean that they won't release something. It's hopefully, and my fingers are crossed that we will get something coming up soon. But it got me thinking about like previous games where they were dropping news. How far out before the release were they dropping news? So we got to go all the way back to NBA 2K16's release. Brian Masakay, who now writes for Forbes, and he's still doing his thing, writing articles. And my apologies if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, because I got a feeling I am. He's still doing great things writing about the 2K community, so shout out to him. Before he was with Forbes, he was with Bleacher Report, and he wrote this article August 19th, 2015. And this was back in the day when 2K would actually tell us stuff about my league, because they were starting to do little things around here. So they got like relocation. This is the first year of relocation. This is a year that you could change the logo, jerseys, all of that. The off season was different. The draft looked different. Hirings, like they literally broke down so many different things that you could do differently about my league and my GM. And this is like the golden age for the my GM, my league community. Now this again was August 19th, 2015. And as you can see, the game came out a whole month later. A whole month later. So there was a period of time where 2K was dropping news a month before the game to get us hype. And that doesn't happen anymore. Which tells me that either A, they just don't care about giving us news, or B, there's just not going to be anything worth writing about that's different about my league, my GM. And we don't even have to go back that far, and this is what scares me the most. We're talking July 29th, 2019. Brian, again, the same author, he's been doing his thing, put out an article talking about all the changes to my league and my GM for NBA 2K20. We're talking about just the previous game, y'all. And this is everything 2K had told him about my league, my GM. I mean, you know what happened in this game, but it's a full-length article talking about all the other improvements. Again, July 29th, and the game ended up releasing September 5th. They gave Brian and the 2K community a whole month to think about new things about the game. And here we are just a few weeks away from next gen being released, and we know literally nothing. So what does that tell you? Exactly. We're probably not gonna get any any upgrades to my league/my GM this year, which is sad, because if you watch that video I uploaded a few weeks ago where I went through every single 2K and did a rebuild, each year you would see that 2K made an effort to try to make things different until we got to the last couple years. We talk about 2K6 between 2K7, there are dramatic changes. When we talk about the next gen jump, I think it was from 2K13 to 2K14, when they went from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, there was a significant jump in quality of the game. So I was just hoping that we were going to get that same type of jump because we're going to a new generation. And unfortunately, it's kind of looking like we won't get that. And it's kind of sad. But I'll throw a little light at the end of the tunnel from an article I read earlier this week. So like I said, this is just a little bit of extra hope, and hopefully this is the right thing and everything I just said before this was wrong. So this is Brian again. Shout out to him again. I don't know many people writing about the 2K community, so he is a reliable source for me. So he gets to have conversations with developers and things like that, and he said in one of his recent articles, I've asked for specific clarification on modes like My GM, My League, My Career, The Neighborhood, and repeatedly been told Next Gen is going bigger in each of those respects. Next Gen is going bigger in each of those, is what he was told. And again, we've heard information about My Career. We've heard information about The Neighborhood. We haven't heard about these two. So getting bigger in each of the respects tells me that maybe they did do something, or they just yapping at the lips because it's 2K. You never really know. And then you ask me like, Kenny, why should we believe them? Well, this is what Brian says. Taking each developer at their word, which is something I'm comfortable doing, as this group has always been honest with me. My expectations are high for all of these modes. Thus far, I'm already impressed with the gameplay concept presented, though the jury is still out on the execution. We really have no idea if the principles discussed in the blogs will manifest in the virtual court, which is facts. Everything that we've seen about 2K and all of these drops and everything, we don't know if it's actually going to work. It looks cool, but we don't know. But what he says in this first half is that they've never really lied to him before. So the fact that they said it's going to get bigger in each respects means something. So yeah, Ronnie and the rest of the guys over on 2K, they may lie to me and you in the community, but it seems like they never really lied to Brian and all these guys, the publication. So who knows? Things could be different. One last thing I want to put in y'all brain before we end today's video is, well, there's speculation, not 100% confirmed. I am not breaking no news, but Live will probably be coming back for Next Gen. NBA Live. They have been making hirings, taking people from the 2K side, hiring them for EA that have experience with the basketball world. And as you know, the last Live game it never came out, which tells me that they may have been using those resources to try to reformulate Live, because Live, last time we saw it, was absolutely terrible. Player models didn't look good or anything like that. But if they use this time to try to make the physics and the player model look good, we may have a legitimate competitor to 2K, which is great. Competition is great. Nobody should have a monopoly on the market. And Live may come in and make some noise on the low. So that's something you should think about. All right, that's all I have for today's video. Let me know about the ratings, if that's something you care about. Let me know if you think there's going to be significant changes to My League or whatever it may be. I'll be down in the comment section reading things. All right, thank y'all so much. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.